I'm Connie, and this is
Jack.
Before I met Stacy and Mark, some of my fears and hesitations about our relationship were whether or not Jack would meet my expectations and whether I would meet his expectations. I was also fearful of having a really full committed relationship. I was fearful about whether or not I could have a committed relationship. Hesitations in giving up my freedom to one person and putting everything, my all, into one person. So those were some of my fears and hesitations.
Everybody, I think, has that fear and hesitation. Is this the right person? And we've kind of gotten more than is this the right person, grateful for the person that she is. And I think that's part of the whole thing with Stacy and Mark has been really good about how much they appreciate each other. And I remember in past relationships looking more at the flaws rather than the positives. And now I don't even think too much about the flaws, I just look at the positives.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we modeled or we mirrored their relationship because it is such a beautiful, authentic relationship that, it's the same as anything else. Like, I want to have some of that. Like, how do you get to be like that? Like, what are you doing? So that was an awakening for us of looking, like Jack said, instead of looking at the flaws, looking at how full the glass is rather than all the possibilities that things wouldn't work out. Let's look at the possibilities of how things are working out, and they have worked out. So it's been great.
What I think of clearly is when Stacy said one time, I said something, I got to do this tomorrow. And she said, you mean you get to do this tomorrow? And I think that was a real good shift, because if you look at everything as a gift and a privilege to be able to do something as opposed to something you have to do, and even if it's something difficult, you still get to do it. I've had times in my life where I had nothing to do, and that's terribly, terribly boring, rather than doing something that's difficult, which you tend to grow from more. So the whole idea of being able to get to versus got to was a real...
Find a joy within yourself, to find that little girl and that little boy inside of you. Open up a new journey that you've never been on. So if the journey that you're on right now isn't working, and you love each other, but you can't stand each other, then you've got to do this, because that's the goal. The goal at the end of the day, when the kids are gone, and that you still love each other, and that you still want to play with each other, and that you still
and
enjoy,
your best friends.
Yeah, and that you're best friends, and that you enjoy each other. So yes, I would definitely take the 21-day experiment with Mark and Stacy. It's one that you'll never regret.